Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture series of cryptography and network security. I am your instructor Dr. Ramesh Prajapati, and today we are going to learn the security services. Right? So let's start today's agenda, which we are going to discuss the one by one. The first is the security services, and total 5 types of security services. The first is authentication, second access control. Take the one some closer look of all these security services, right? So the security services, it means X.800, the ITU is International Telecommunication Union recommended X.800 security architecture for OSI, and this X.800 security architecture for OSI, it is an international and a systematic standard of how defining and providing the security requirement. So X.800 standard define the different security services, and this services that is provided by the protocol layer of the communicating open system, and that this security services ensure of the data transfer between the different system, right? Then this security service implement the security mechanism. Okay, so let's start with different types of services provided by uh, security. The total 5 types of different security services. The first is authentication, access control, data confidentiality, data integrity, and the last is a non-repudiation. And the first, the authentication, again there are 2 types: peer entity authentication, and the second is a data originate authentication. Then the data confidentiality, again 4 types: connection confidentiality, connection less confidentiality, selective repeat confidentiality, and the last is a traffic flow confidentiality. Data integrity, again 5 types: first, connection integrity with recovery, connection integrity without recovery, selective field connection integrity, connectionless integrity, and the last is a selective field connectionless integrity, and the last is a non-repudiation service. In this non-repudiation service, again there are 2 types: first, non-repudiation origin and the non-repudiation destination. So let's start. The first security service is a authentication. So authentication, it is an assurance that the communicating entity is the one that is claimed to be. It means that we identify, okay, which is the sender is a correct person and the receiver is a correct person. How you can authenticate? So there is some different mechanism, right? The first is who you are. How to identify, okay, who you are, right? So with the help of biometrics we can identify, okay, this is the correct person or not, right? Second thing, if I want to identify the physical location of the particular person, so here we can use the where you are. It means we have to authenticate the location of the person, right? And the next is what you know. It means that if I want to identify, okay, you are the correct person or not. So there is a different mechanism, like a password and a one-time password. With the password and one-time password, other I am recognize you, okay, you are the correct person, right? So these are the various mechanism we can use to identify the person. It is a correct person or it is a not correct, it is correct person or not, right? Then there are 2 types of authentication. The first is a peer entity authentication. In peer authentication, we establish the logical connection between the different entity which are connected to each other, right? Then second, there's data origin authentication. In data origin authentication, we cannot provide the any connection. It means that we are using the connectionless protocol and provide the assurance that the source of the received data is as claimed. It means that we identify the source of your data. The source of the data is correct or not. And so this all about the authentication. This mechanism. Next security service is called the access control. In access control, who should be able to access what? It means that it is the prevention of unauthorized use of resources. It means, let's take one example. Okay, here there are two people, user A and user B. User A want to access the human resource network. So the first of all, any system administrator assigns some rights to some access rights to user A so that he or she can able to access the human resource network. So the system administrator assigned some rights to user A. So now the user A is able to access the human resource network. But in another point of view, the another user B, user B, the administrator has not assigned the access right to user B, so that the user B will be not able to access the human resource network. So it means that who should be able to access what? It means that if you are considering the in any organization, we are considering the principal, director and the faculty. All the people have assigned the different rights by the system administrator, and that much of information he or she can be able to access it. Right? So this is all about the access mechanism. The third is the data confidentiality. The data confidentiality, it means that no other user can access your information. It means that the protection of your data from unauthorized disclosure. Right? So here you can see, this is the, in this figure you can see, this is my confidential data, and only the authorized person, this person is an authorized person who will be able to access the information. Right? Then again there are four types of the data confidentiality. The first is a connection confidentiality. The connection confidentiality, the protection of all user data on a connection. It means that through the connection, the sender and receiver send the message to each other, and we are providing the confidentiality or security on a particular connection on some amount of time, and on that amount of time, on that particular connection, all user data should be secure. Right? The second is a connection less confidentiality. In connection less confidentiality, the protection of all user data in a single data block. It means that here first establish the connection between the sender and the receiver, and then the sender have many path to send the message to the receiver. Right? So we cannot provide the we cannot provide the security to each and every path. So it chooses the any random path to send the message to the receiver side. Right? Then the third is the selectivity confidentiality. Selectivity confidentiality, selected field within the user data or a connection or in a single data block. It means that we providing the security or confidentiality on a particular selected field of data. It means that this field is applicable for the connectionless and the connection oriented. The connection oriented, we provide the confidentiality to all user data. For for all user data, select a particular field for all user data. It means that we provide the selected field, we are providing the security on a selective field. Right? Then the last is the traffic flow confidentiality. With traffic flow confidentiality, the protection of information that might be derived from observation of traffic flow. It means that here we authenticate the source of your data, and based on the traffic flow, we can provide the security on a source of data. So this all about the data confidentiality services. I hope you clear this idea, right? The next is a data integrity. Data integrity is insurance that the data received are exactly as sent by the authenticated authorized entity. It means that during the transmission, the attacker cannot modify your information, right? Or second, we can say that, let's see one example. In this example, there are two people, Alice and Bomb. Alice want to send the message to the Bomb. So the first, Alice sent the message through a communication channel to the Bomb, and here Alice sent the message to the receiver, who assurance that the Bomb received the exactly same message which is sent by the Alice. It means that both the message should be the same, right? Alice and the Bomb. It means that during the transmission of this message, no other person can modify your information, right? So again, there are 5 types of data integrity, and we have already discussed the connection integrity with the recovery. It means connection integrity, it means that we providing the connection between the sender and the receiver, and through that connection, sender through that connection, and a particular amount of time, all user data should be secure. It means the provided integrity of all user data on a connection and detect any modification, right? If any modification is there, means any unauthorized person has modified that information, it means that it recover your message, right? Then second is a connection integrity without a recovery. It means that this scenario is same, but here only the detection, we cannot provide the recovery over here, right? Then the next is a selective field connection integrity. Selective field connection integrity, they provide the integrity of a selected field with user data, and it takes the form of determination of whether the selected field have been modified, inserted or deleted by any authorized person or not, right? It means that we provide the integrity of a selected field of user data. Then the next is the connectionless integrity. In connectionless integrity, provide the integrity of single connectionless data block. It means that we are providing the uh, integrity of data on a single user data block, and here may take the form of detection of a data modification. It means that some unauthorized person has modified that data, so we can detect that modification, right? The next is a selective field connectionless integrity, right? This same thing, but here provide the integrity of selected field within a single connectionless data block, right? And here we determine of whether the selected field have been modified or not, right? So I hope you clear this idea. This is all about the data integrity. The next security service is called the non-repudiation. The non-repudiation, we assurance that sender send the message to the receiver, after few days, sender the sender refuse that I have not sent any message. So this is called the non-repudiation. So we can say that it is an assurance that someone can't deny something, right? So non-repudiation is to ability to ensure that a communication can't deny the authenticity of the signature or a document or sending a message that they originated, right? Then here let's take one example to clear this idea of what is non-repudiation. So here one of the user A want to transfer the uh, some amount from his account to account B. User A might send the message for requesting a fund transfer. So the bank has happily transferred the some amount from account A to account B. After few days, the user A claimed to bank, okay, I have never requested the fund transfer. So this situation is called the non-repudiation. It means that someone can't deny something, right? So this is all about the non-repudiation. And second scenario, the sender sent the message to the receiver received the message. So here receiver has to prove that the original sender has sent the message, and the sender has to prove that the original receiver has received that message. So during the transmission, I sent the message to the another person, so I have to prove that the receiver is a correct person, and receiver has to prove that I am the correct person. I hope you clear this idea, right? This all about the security services. Thank you.